Holy Spirit,
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You can
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You can
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You
activate.
better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You can
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You can
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Hi. Sorry, I was coming. Time is yes. So I was coming. Okay. Oh, God. I love you guys. Welcome back to my show. Please hit the like. I need to look and see. Am I even prepared? I've had a busy morning. Okay, hold on. Hey, you know what? I just may be. I love you guys. Welcome back to my show, the Sean W. Show. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Okay, please hit the like. Now, I'm a little annoyed, okay, because Chris Stokes blocked me. Now, this was bound to happen. It absolutely was. It was bound to happen. Like, it was. I knew he's going to block me, whatever, but we can still DM each other, so he still loves me. He absolutely does. So he made it so that we can still message, and he looks at all of my messages. This is what really annoys me with him, is that our relationship, you know, our hatred towards each other, and I'm a girl, you know, it goes up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Because I come in his DM real demanding. I'm not asking for anything, predator. You're just gonna do it. Okay? Absolutely. I'm not coming over here being nice. For what? I think you're the devil. So yes, I'm not coming over here being nice, you gross. So no, I come over really demanding. I'm really rude. I am actually, let me read, hold on. Let me read some of the messages sent on my girl. Yeah, he blocked me here. I was like, why did you not have to block me? Like, I mean, I get it, but like, you didn't have to do it. So let me look at my I said, not block me because I know your truth. Not block me because I know your truth. Not block me. I said, look, you're gonna talk to me or I'm gonna talk to her. What it's gonna be. So I'm like, yeah, look, I'm either talking to you or I'm talking to mine. What's up? Am I talking to you or your ex-wife? Which one you want is up to you. I'm gonna let you choose. I'm that nice. So it is what it is. So I messaged him. I said, Chris, do not ignore me. Okay, because I sent him what Monyee had said, and I'm a girl. I said it to him. And I said, Chris, do not ignore me. Okay, this isn't the time for that. It's not. I know you can't give a statement, but you will talk to me. So and then it says scene. So I said, oh, you saw me. So I messaged him again. I said, Chris, like that. I said, Chris, hello. I said, look at here. And I literally said, look at here. Do you want me talking to you or do you want me talking to Monyee? Whatever. Okay? Right now I'm speaking to the accused. Do you want me to talk to the accuser? Because it's not a problem. So and I'm a girl, because the burlesquer, he always tried, you know, he be trying it. So then because you know our other messages, because we've messaged a lot. Oh, I was all up in his tea. Chris, I cuss you out on a daily basis. I do. I used to hit him up. I said, he said, I sent him Raz B song. I said, have you heard the song? And then he said, no, send it to me. Real gay. So he was like, no, send it to me. So I was like, okay, queer. Here we go. So then I mentioned him back. I said, what did you think? Now I'm trying to get him a record deal, and this time untouched. I'm trying to get him an untouched deal. Nah, not what you think of the song that I sent you. Okay, I sent you. And then he said it's a nice song. Yeah, you better say that. So then I said, I'm glad you liked it. I did too. Are you against talking to Raz B or Quindon for closure purposes? Now this is before Quindon passed away. So God rest his soul. He said, why? I never did anything to any of them. Have nothing to say to them for lying on me. You know, you gonna talk to them. I said, no, you could talk to Raz. Little piece. I mean, he is your cousin. He is your blood. I can understand you not want to talk to Quindon. God rest his soul. But you gonna talk to your cousin. It's the least you could do. So he said, and for defamation of my name, gotta go and put up the Jehovah's Witness prayer hands. I said, you know, you can sue for defamation, right? Because you didn't sue Quindon and you didn't sue Raz. You didn't sue neither party. So I'm like, you know, you can sue for that. Did you know that? He said, yes, but my attorney said they have no money and it's a family feud. Now, your attorney ain't tell you that they ain't had no money. You did, because you ain't give them none. You ain't get Raz. You get him a couple dollars after you booted him from the group. Your own cousin. Now, Chris, look at here. You kept Omarion out of all of the people in B2K. You didn't even keep your own cousin. You got rid of Raz. I'm like, so you got rid of him for a reason. You absolutely did, because, blood's supposed to be thicker than water. But you kicked your own cousin out of the group. Well, like, you didn't think we saw that? Yeah, that's your cousin. That's out here with these other boys, Fizz and J-Bug, talking about for different, more so financial, but reasons of them being booted from the group. So it's like you kicked your own family out. There was reason behind that. You tried it. Okay? Absolutely. So, I'm like, you kicked your own cousin out of the group, dude. Like, do you not remember that? Your cousin's claim to fame, his dream that he had, you gave it and you took it away. You absolutely did, like, gross. But whatever. So he says, yes, but my attorney said, and it's a family feud. Ricky and Mario, DeMario is, because he's gonna try to, because I'm like, I don't even like that she was trying to call DeMario, which is Raz B. Don't call him Mario. Don't do that. His name is DeMario. Okay, put some respect on his name. You try to act like y'all cool, like y'all good. I'm trying to call him Mario. So, and then my girl, he said, have criminal records, big ones. What does this have to do with what you did to them? They got criminal records because of the trauma, Lord, that you bestowed upon them. You said that to say what? If you would have gave them their money and left them in the groups and stuff that they were supposed to be in, let them actually have their careers, sort of trying to be butt pirates with them and all of that, and my girl, they wouldn't have had criminal records. That was your fault. You did that. So, and my girl. So I said, he said, I can only try to get them jail time. We'll leave it in God's hands. I said, okay, Chris. You know this Netflix supposedly working a deal out with Mario for his upcoming project. That's what I said. That's what I read. I said, so there is some money somewhere. And they still would owe you, even if they are broke. Okay? You could have the wages garnished, etc. But I guess you're letting Jesus handle it. What that were, Chris? I said, so what? They ain't got nothing. You can still sue. Garnish them and stuff. Like, no, get them. Yeah, because they're lawyers. So, yeah, get them. And I'm like, yeah, we ain't trying to hit none of that. They ain't got a number, a couple dollars. Oh, well, clean your name. You want to sue everybody but them. He done put up 700. Have y'all seen how many lawsuits Chris Stokes has put out against bloggers? So many. He sued so many. I'm like, why are you suing everybody but the victims? I'm like, that's weird. That's weird. Is because your attorneys told you that we got a little piece of coin? Well, they got a little piece of coin, so sue them, but don't sue Raz. Don't sue Quindon. Don't sue those. Why not? Why not? I'm like, ain't that my girl? Because you got to Raz, because I'm really not trying to pull Raz B into nothing. I'm really not. But y'all know, okay, Raz B, J-Bug, and Little Fizzle Pop have a podcast, right? Before this podcast came out, Raz B came forward and stated, that, hey, the stuff that I said against my cousin, blah, 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 wasn't necessarily true, and going live saying how he needed his cousin. He was talking about Chris Stokes, stuff like that. We did videos on it, and we were very like disheartened. We were just like, oh my God, like what's going on? So what was going on was Chris Stokes, you did end up reaching out to Raz B. Come on now. You absolutely did. You reached out to Raz B, and the reason you did is because you needed to keep him quiet. None of us are unaware that certain states, which California was just one of them, that adopted the Adult Sex Act protection, that to where victims can come forward and sue people for their alleged abusers or predator for pain and trauma and other things that occurred during and because of what they went through. So it gave victims opportunity to be able to file a civil lawsuit against their abuser, right? It just so happened that you become cool with Raz right before California adopts the act. So you stay on good terms with him to make sure that this passes, because Raz probably wasn't even necessarily aware of this act and what it did. And a lot of people didn't know. A lot of victims didn't know. They didn't know because of, a lot of them only knew because of a lot of celebrities that were being sued. But the actual public at large, a lot of them didn't know about it, So with that, it's not that it was a secret. It's just that information you have to seek it. It's not information that's just going to be plastered on a billboard. You can sue your, so you kind of have to seek that information. It's not something that's just laying around. So with Cassie's lawsuit becoming so massive, I think that put up the alert, for a lot of other people, a lot of the other victims that filed these lawsuits against Diddy and others. And people are saying like, oh, well, the time expired and whatnot. A lot of them probably didn't know. So it's not that, oh, I'm copying off of Cassie. No, I had no idea that I could do this. I mean, a lot of things come from like, I had no idea. I just found out about it. Is that uncommon or what? Because I didn't know that this was like a public service, that every channel was talking about it. Every news station, cable station, app had commercials of. I didn't know that it was huge. I don't know, this massive thing. A lot of people were unaware is all. So even if you find out when the deadline has ended, it doesn't mean that you're still not going to seek certain things, that you're not going to try. So again, a lot of these victims probably had no idea that they could do things. So I think that it was probably the same thing with Raz B. Raz B being cool with Chris, not realizing that in the state of California, to where a lot of these things Raz B said in the past occurred between he and Chris Stokes and other parties happened in California. It absolutely did. The allegations, even I believe with Quindon, they happened in California, and he passed away. So, because he could have, Quindon was alive, he definitely would have, I think, took the opportunity and filed charges against, not charges, well, charges could be filed, yes, but, and got a lawsuit against Chris. I think he would have took the opportunity to do so. Rest in peace to Quindon. He was in a lot of pain with this, but you could tell he was kind of coming to peace with it, but it truly really affected him. Yeah. It wasn't something that, I mean, I feel like what time helped, but it was something he kind of, I feel like, struggled with on a day-to-day basis. It would have been connected to his career. And I think that's why it was so triggering with him, because the same thing that got you to this situation to where these things could have happened in the first place is the same thing that you have to continue. So it could be a constant reminder, you know, every time getting in front of a microphone or getting inside of a studio booth or something like that. There's constant triggers that can be around you throughout it, even some of the same studios you worked in when certain things happen to you. And, you know, it can be very traumatic. So when someone is hurt like this and is in the entertainment field, it's a very hard thing to perform because you're still in the arena. So a lot of people become their own managers and, you know, and all of that stuff to try to build anew because other people didn't necessarily protect them. And there was all type of stuff going on. And, you know, they're kind of being pushed this way and pushed that way, you know. So it's like, yeah. So that's why a lot of them become independent and have their own management, meaning like they're a part of their management, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, like the Beyoncés and people like that, like they break away from managers and stuff, become their own managers and stay that way. It's a lot, but you make a lot more money. You ain't got to worry about a person stealing from you. Who better to trust than yourself? Who better to trust than yourself? So, yeah. So let's get into Chris's wife, Monyee. The title says, Chris Stokes' ex-wife, Monyee, exposed, gay or wrong, on Marques Houston and Quindon Tarver. Now, one thing I do want to express is that with Monyee coming forward, I think that she was talking about multiple people, but she also hashtagged some too. She did not hashtag Raz B, but she did hashtag Marques Houston. So I believe the people that she hashtagged are the bitters. I believe she's hashtagging the people that are doing these acts. And I think with Marques Houston, it's dark water. Marques is a product of his environment, right? So Chris Stokes don't like me because I really like popped him, you know, and we went into detail about these situations. But what he don't like is we know the truth. We know the truth. Pictures like this of B2K that had came out and whatnot. Where's the other picture? Do I have it still? Otherwise I have to go find it. But yeah. And pictures like this of immature, these are not promotion pictures. Okay. These are photos of things that are being done in the dark that are coming to light. He don't like that people like me and others, a lot of other content creators and whatnot, that we know the truth. These things keep coming up. These allegations keep coming up because you need to pay. Chris, I want you to know that. These aren't coming up for entertainment purposes. They're coming up no different than Diddy because y'all need to pay. Like y'all need to pay for what y'all have done to people. So it's going to keep resurfacing. Doesn't matter how many times you try to bury it, how many times you try to make it go away. It's going to keep coming back. It is. When I'm done doing content one day and leave this, you know, social media place or the world, you know, whatever, there are going to be people that follow that are still going to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Even after you're gone, Chris. Mm-hmm. People are still, well, like your secret will be unveiled because it has been. You keep trying to bury it again. You keep trying to tuck it away, lock it away. You know what? You can't. Like you keep putting stuff in a vault that everybody knows the combination to, because we can go and get it at any moment. When you get rid of something, no one can attain it. When you lock away something, no one but you or whomever you give set information to can contain it. You know, all of us can, and we're going to continue to do it until you pay for what you did. You know, Quindon dying doesn't mean that he won't ever get justice. That's why it's good that he became as much as he could with peace with this while on earth, so that the time that he was here, he could enjoy instead of being burdened like he was with what you did to him. You see, you don't like that. You don't like that. You don't like that people know, because Chris, you feel like you're not a bad person. Most people like you do feel that way. Most people like you do try to convince yourself that you aren't a horrible, deplorable individual, and you very so much are. You are that person. Yeah. But you need to convince yourself for like your children and your grandchildren and stuff like that, so they don't look at you for the monster that you are. Because that's what you are. You're a monster. And you know you are. Because you don't do certain things anymore, you feel like it's vindication because you prayed about it. It's not. You need to pay for it. You do. You need to pay for it. Yeah, your penance don't get to be because you prayed or because you did whatever your religion requires you to do. Okay? We still know. The victims still know. Mm-hmm. You want to give them peace, you know what to do. You don't care to give them peace because you're narcissistic. You think that because you provided certain things for them, because their parents weren't well off or and whatnot, you feel like they owed you. Owed you what? Their innocence? They owed committing acts with you that they would never do with people or men because you would guilt trip them into thinking. He had the boys arguing with each other all the time. B2K, they were always at odds because of Chris. Because of Chris, just like Diddy. Just like Diddy. And Chris will wave his power around. But not wave his power around in a way to get the group to stay a group. He will wave his power around to separate them. Because that's what you do when you're doing something you know you're not supposed to be. Chris will not let the boys go home when they will tour and whatnot. He will leave them temporarily. Sometimes he let them go home for a Christmas or so and whatnot, but he will get them immediately after that. Put them up, sign them up for things to keep them away from the people that will find out what's going on. He did that deliberately. Like you would do that on purpose to keep the boys because you're afraid of what would happen leaving them there too long. You didn't have control. Raz B, he was your family. You basically had custody of him. So you weren't worried about him because you could keep him really close. But what you didn't count on was that Raz was going to be the one to come and unveil your secret. You would have thought that J-Book or Little Fizz would have did it before Raz B. That's why you felt comfortable kicking Raz B out of the group. You felt comfortable doing that because he was the one talking about the allegations. He was the one that came forward. It was him. He was the leader of that crusade of I was touched crusade. He was the leader of it. So yeah, you had to get rid of him. So that he could lose credibility, so that his voice will be smaller, is what you did. If you would have kept him in the group, the longer he would have been in the group, the more fame he would have got, so the bigger his voice would have became. So you needed to bury him. That's why you kept Omarion. You kept him because Omarion stayed not loyal, but I really feel like Omarion was just trying to make it. I do. I think that he was just trying to make it. I feel like he was being misled and Chris was manipulating him and misleading him. So if the boss is telling you something, Omarion was a kid, a teenager coming into, like, he grew up in B2K. He was no adult coming into that group to where he knew better. He didn't. None of them did. None of them knew better. That's why none of them should blame themselves. Y'all didn't do nothing wrong. Y'all didn't. He did. And he knows it because he knew better. He did. So that's just how I feel about that. Like, he made them pay for their fame in a way that they should have never had to. They should have never had to. And the reason I feel that B2K can't get along is because of Chris Stokes. Chris Stokes broke B2K up. You broke up the band. A lot of things happened while they were a group. So since all these things happened, they happened because of you. And the one thing that they know, if they said, because that's why the group is destroyed. The group is destroyed because their egos, manhood, masculinity, all of those things were broken down by you. You broke them all down. You made them all feel dependent on you. So when you would have them do things like this, they would think nothing of it. They would just do it. These are boys, young men trying to make it a group, a talented group. They should have never had to do any of these things. This ain't no album cover. This ain't none of that. These are leaked photos. These photos were never supposed to make the light of day. Ever. Ain't that Chris? These pictures were never supposed to see the light of day. Oh no. Oh no. This picture, never supposed to see the light of day. Never. No adults in this photograph. That is your bed. It was your bed. This is the bed Quindon explained when he stated what happened to him due to what you told Marques Houston to do to him. He didn't lie on you. He did not. And Monyee has came forward to basically let us know that. Now, getting back into Monyee and Chris Stokes met in the 90s. They absolutely did. We could correlate that to their oldest child. Their oldest child, Miko, as of recently, is about to get married. Now, I don't know if this is what inspired Monyee to come forward and whatnot, because, you know, her daughter got married. And before we go, let me actually pull that up, because y'all know. This is Chris Stokes' eldest son, Miko's tags. Now, he's been tagged in these photographs and whatnot. This is him with Chrissy's husband, so her brother's husband, her brother's Lord, his sister Chrissy, sorry, that's the husband with the red band on. That's her husband, and that's her brother. That's him. But I noticed in his tags, and I do have another page creeping on his IG, there's no pictures of him and Monyee. I actually didn't really see any pictures of Monyee. Monyee is their mom. Okay. Same thing with Chrissy Stokes. It's a lot of pictures of her and her dad. Lots of pictures of her and her dad. But there's no pictures of her and her mom. And there's no pictures of Milo, and his mom either. Now, her and Chris Stokes have 4 kids together. Okay. Now, Chris Stokes, from what I'm gathering, I don't know if he has custody of all the kids, but it's given that he used his money and his influence and kept his children away from their mother. Is what it gives, because as you see, here's a picture again. Here's a picture of him tagged. That's Milo in the middle, which is Chris Stokes' eldest son with Monyee. And I'll see who else in the picture. Go home, Roger. So he's always in pictures with Chris. When he's tagged pictures of Chris. Chris just posted him because he's about to get married. Oh, Chris, just because you got me blocked, because this has been tagged from Chris Stokes' page. Look, you got me blocked, but I got to burn it. You tried it. Look, he just posted him and his son real close together. That's his son-in-law. I don't know who that is. Is that the son? I think no, that's the son. So, and I'm my girl. So he just posted them. He said his son about to get married, because the hashtag is Miko's getting married. So he hashtagged him. That's why he popped up, and I'm my girl. Here you go right here with Chrissy and his grandchildren with her with his look. Ooh, my phone's going fast. Hold on. Let's go to Chrissy. Hold on, because she tried. Hold on, let me make this big so y'all can see that I'm not just saying this. Do y'all see her mama anywhere? Let me go back up so y'all don't see her. I'm trying to look. You see her daddy. Look, there you go. Right under my door. That girl. You gonna see pictures of her father. That's her husband and her babies. And a husband. Now you gonna see her daddy, but you ain't gonna see her mama. You're not gonna see Monyee. I'm a scrolling now. This month's back. Look, standing not look, wedding pictures, everything. Still ain't a picture of her mama. Girl. So her whole Instagram, not one picture of her mom. I'm like, well, where's Monyee? No, I'm nosy. No, I'm nosy. So I'm like, oh my God. And it's the same thing with her brother. No pictures of him and his mom. But there's pictures of him and his dad. There's pictures of him and his dad. Yes, Christy is very beautiful. Beautiful. They have beautiful children. All four of their children are beautiful. Like, obviously the boys are handsome. I should say that the boys are beautiful. But yeah, he and Monyee, their genes matched well. Let's go back to Cole. Cole. Let's see how I'm not following him on my burner page, but this is his tags. So yeah. So as you see him with Marques, and I'm in Houston. Look. He was one of Marcus Houston groomsmen. Look, there you go right there. Look, sunglasses. Look at here. Look, boom, boom, boom. There you go right there with sunglasses. He's one of the groomsmen, along with J Boog. J Boog. This is why me and J Boog got into it. J Boog. And I'm gonna just leave it right there for right now. But this is why we got into it, because I'm just like, why are you still like, why J Boog? Why? But yeah, so because J Boog was one of the groomsmen as well. From B2K, that's him right in the middle. Boom. One of Marcus's groomsmen. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, there is no picture. They go LDB, look. Go Romeo. What's the name of it? LDB. It's a groomsman sugar. Romeo. So they was all there. They was all there, but then they want to talk, like Romeo wanted to talk ish about like Marques and like being with the, the teen bride. But you were at the wedding. Like you were one of the groomsmen. Like when did you start having a problem with this? Because if I had a problem with it, I would have been one of the groomsmen. It would have been hard to even get me in attendance to something like that. So yeah, so I was looking in Monyee's children, her older two. I can't speak for the younger two, but her older two children, it don't look like they have nothing to do with her. Now, I'm not stating that, but I'm just actually I am stating it, because girl. Alrighty, let's go to this is crazy. I'll just say anything with Chris be so weird. Like it'd be so weird. All right, let's pull them up quick. A picture of them. So they went a lot of places together. She was always on his arm back in the dizzle. But I wanted to pull this up. So they had a business together. Christopher and Monyee Stokes Inc. Okay, this was based in California. December 30th, 2003. Okay. So for the people that don't think that they knew each other around the time of Quindon, because in 1996, Quindon dropped his album, his first, which was self-titled, Quindon, which did good. Like his album did good. He was performing a lot of places. His voice was amazing. He had did the rendition to Dub's Cry and all of that. So Monyee has been around for a long time. Okay. It's kind of like Mia Houston's mom. She was pretty much like around too. Like we didn't see her, and Mia didn't post like pictures of her and whatnot, but she was around. Like she wasn't not around. We even found pictures of her at the wedding. And although Mia didn't post her mom being at the wedding, she was there. Paula. She was, is it Paula? I think it's Paula. Yes, Paula, not Patricia. Paula. She was at the wedding, so but let's get into the status. So the filing status is terminated and whatnot. The company's age was 20 years and 1 month. Okay. That was 20 years old. The expiration date was March 3rd, 2004. And it was owned by the both of them. Now, the company, let's get into the actual company that they had, which he took away from her as well. He did when I believe she left him because they got divorced. And in the divorce, Chris filed for the divorce. Okay. She filed for the divorce. Hope this isn't another Dre Kelly. No. Dre Kelly was involved in certain stuff. This woman, I believe that Monyee was involved, but unbeknownst to her. Okay. So I believe because she was A&R talent scout, when this was the business that they had got together, her and Chris Stokes. So her being the talent scout and whatnot, bringing talent around, if he is doing things to the people that you are bringing to him, then you are involved, like Ghislaine or whatever, however you say her name, with the whole Epstein thing. So, I mean, it could give that, type of impression, that you're bringing these artists around and in the process of bringing this talent to this person, he is doing other things unbeknownst to you, and then you kind of hear things and and whatnot. So I mean, not to say that she's complicit in that, but it could look that way. It could look like your hands are dirty, because a lot of those artists or people that, because she said that she's a victim herself and she knows victims. Like she said, the allegations against Chris, she can say, I know. She says, I know that these things happen. I can basically prove them, and I'm to myself, in so many words. So I think maybe some of the talent that she brought around Chris, she, and then here's another thing. Quindon lived with Chris Stokes in the house that they shared. So the house that that Chris Stokes was living in at the time, Monyee was living in that house too. So the same house that Quindon is alleging certain things happened in, that was Monyee's home too. Okay, Chris's kid's mother's, baby mother's home. Like they just were married, but they had already had I believe one child together. So when Quindon was stating his story and stating that there would be times where certain things would happen, and it was no different than Raz B. Some of the things that he stated, some of the stories he stated, because B2K's Boys of the New Millennium. So they came out around the new millennium, right? So around 2000, between that and 1 and something like that. They came out, around then, early 2000s is when they came out. They got divorced in 2009. And I believe married in 2004. Yeah, isn't this the divorce? Yeah. So I believe, December 4th, because she said December 4th as well. But yeah, they the filing date was on April 21st, 2009. So from 2004 to 2009, they were married, but they were together before that, before marriage. They didn't meet each other in 2004 and get married. No, and get married and met each other and just got married. No, they knew each other before that. So it was a kind of relationship that went on for some time before it became serious. So she was kind of Honestly, the R. Kelly situation. Drea in the background married to him, having children, and we had no idea. You know, a lot of us had no idea that R. Kelly was married. Like we had no idea that he was married. It's like only he, Drea, and the state knew. It's like nobody else knew. We found out about this alleged marriage with him and Aaliyah before we found out he was married to Drea. Literally. Like, and he wasn't married to Drea around Aaliyah. No, that happened later. But we found out about Aaliyah being married to him before Drea. It took years for us to find out that R. Kelly was, because we didn't know. I know I didn't know. I thought R. Kelly was a single man. I had no idea he was married. And even everybody in my family, they all said the same thing. It's like, you know, R. Kelly married? I said, it was 6 albums later. I said, girl, I know you lying. Shut your mouth and keep it to who? And then and honestly, when we found that out was Hollywood Exes on VH1, we was like, oh yeah, he was married. Because we was like, who was that? Who was she? It's like Andrea Kelly. Like, oh yeah. Who would have thunk it? So yeah, so that you know, he filed for divorce. I feel that he filed for divorce because she found out about what he was doing. Absolutely. He filed for it. I think that she stayed because of the children. And then right here, it says, right here, okay, dissolution with minor children. Okay, is what that says. I wonder, were the kids split then? Did he get the older 2 and she got the younger 2, or did he get all 4 children? You know, I wonder. I'm like, I wonder how that went. And did he, you know, take the children like as a threat? What's going on with that? So, you know, I'm nosy. I will be updating you on that as soon as possible, because you know I'm nosy. You know, I am no and a Z, and I'm a girl. So let's keep going. Chris Stokes. Let's get into this. Chris Stokes. All right. Sandra Rose. Shout out to everyone in the building. Please hit the like. So former B2K manager Chris Stokes is off the market. Okay, now let's get into his new wife. Now this was April 21st, 2021. Get off my screen. 2021. Now, hold on, let me pull. Oh no, I'll just read this one. So Chris Stokes is getting married to his longtime girlfriend, Teen Kells. The former B2K manager announced his engagement on Instagram. The 51-year-old music producer shared a photo that showed him proposing to his lady on one knee. The couple wore matching Louis Vuitton outfits. Very gay. Very gay. I remember that picture. Very gay. And I don't even know if that's going on anymore, because this used to be, they had the picture tagged to this Sandra Rose article, and it's no longer tagged. So I believe it's not because this isn't a bad article. So I don't think that they removed the picture because the article was not in favor of them. I said that they removed the picture because it got deleted. Okay. So instead of people leaving up an at and it's blank now because the person removed the video or picture, so, or whatever you're posting. So now the at's not there anymore because it just says retry or not available. Or deleted. So instead of leaving that up, I feel like they took it down. So I don't know if Chris is still happily married to this teen woman, but well, let's keep going. I mean, her name is literally Teen, like whatever. On April 27, 2021, I proposed to my forever at Teen Kells, and you can't go to her. See, look. The ad is gone. So she either changed her name or deleted her Instagram. And she said yes. He wrote in the caption, he added, Jehovah is my father and Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I will follow them first in this and will always follow Bible principles when it comes to my queen. My forever is not long enough. Now, these is the churn that is ignoring Monyee. I didn't mean to say it like that. I didn't mean to say it like that. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. I didn't mean to say that these is the churn that's ignoring you, girl. That's not nice. Especially if y'all like really going through something. But girl, your churn is ignoring you. Your churn is ignoring you. Now that's Miko, the one who we just showed y'all was over that party with Marques and them and my girl. And then you got Chrissy down here at the bottom. A little piece of ashy, but it's all right. A little piece of ashy, but right, correct. I'm like, look at here, queer. So I'm like, it's this gay dude all like forever proposing to women for me. Like, get up, delicious. You still look like a man. So it's just like, oh, you tried it. It's like you talk sweet, you act sweet, like you sweet, like very gay. Like it's annoying. Like it really is. It's like you're not fooling anyone. Like no one. Like it's just all up in your face. Like it's so annoying. Move right along. So let's get into this. No, we're not talking about her. I don't want to talk about Chrissy. Let's talk about this. Okay. Let's talk about this. Now, this is Quindon Tarver's Wikipedia, and I want to get into his Wikipedia. I want to get into this part right here. His album Quindon was released in 1996 by Virgin Records that included the single It's You That's On My Mind. Oh, I love that song. Which charted in Australia and New Zealand under the same management as the then teen sensations Immature, later known as IMX, Smooth, Girl, and B2K. Tarver began to appeal to a large market of teens and subsequently toured the world with the likes of Immature, Brandy, and Monica. Okay, now that is very true. So Quindon was excelling in music and he was doing really good. I believe that the reason he stopped doing well is because of Chris. Chris had new targets. So when an observer has new targets, when they leaving what they feel is washed up, like the victim that they look now was like damaged goods or trash, when they're sweeping those people away, you have to keep them at a distance because they're still trying to basically keep them quiet or keep the tabs on them, so because you have to protect yourself as the bidder because you know what you did. So at any moment in time, this person could come out and say certain things. They could come out and do certain things. They could expose what happened, if you will. So it gets to, because Chris has had a lot of young groups, not just B2K, not just Immature, but if you notice, his groups were younger ethnic males is what his preference, if you ask me, is. So as they started to get older, he would bring in a new crop because they would age out and like foster care. When you hit 18, and whatnot. So with him being the editor that he is not to like truly like teen boys. Like that's not what it gives that he's into. He's into them being younger and a lot younger. And you can pick that up correlated off of, hold on, do I still have that picture too? Because you know me, I keep a receipt. Okay, I'll just use this. Okay, I'll just use this as a reference as of right now. So this picture, and there's a picture that I have of Immature, the first group when he had them walking around on just boxers and stuff like that. He adopted other groups as well. B2K. There was another group, N2U. What are they on here? I think the number was like N2U or something like that. Now I have to find it. I believe their name is like N2U. And I think that Monyee brought that group in. Yeah, you know what? I think that's true. Let me look that up. There was a group, I think they were called like N2U or something like that. Let me type that in. Monyee. I think their name was like N2U or something like that. Yeah, it's this. No. No. Let me talk about that last name. It's Stokes, because it would have been Stokes at that time. No. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, Monyee, there was a group called N2U that she had brought in, and they were young boys. No, I don't need ink. Maybe I just put in N2U. They were a group of young boys. Now I gotta find the group. I have to find them. I have to find them because they just disappeared. And Monyee, boy band. Maybe they're gonna make it pop up. Because you did everything in your power to get rid of this group. Right here. Yes. Here they are. Here they are. Because Monyee, you found this group, and I'm gonna pull this up right now because I hate telling y'all something and not showing y'all, because then it's like, well, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I'm sure. I remember the group. I do a lot of reading. Here they are right here. I make this big. So the group N2U right here, of late, male R&B groups have become a rare commodity. Hoping to change that is this latest offering from Chris Stokes, the man behind Teen Thrives, B2K, and IMX, and Marques Houston. Okay, so the man behind the Teen Thrives, B2K, IMX, and Marques Houston. Sorry, this thing keeps moving. Sorry. With members ranging in from 19 to 25, this Atlanta and Los Angeles-based quartet targets an adult audience with soulful gospel, honed 4-part harmonies. Framing picture is gritty, street-edged, and vibe-accented, accented by lyrically frank about whatever. Where are they? I want to show y'all a picture of them. Hold on, back here, and show y'all a picture of them. They were young too. They were like little boys. And then they got older, and then he brought them back out. And then, because people thought that they were new, and it's like, these guys aren't new. They had been out for a while. Here they are. I'll just pull them up on Google search. They have been out for a while, and allegedly certain things had happened. And then they just disappeared. Literally. And they did, but this is the group. There should be pictures of them when they were younger, but I'll find that later. But yeah, this is them. They weren't a bad group. They were all right, but Chris Stokes, they aged out, and there were certain rumors that some of the boys in the group had said certain things that had happened with them, and then they were just gone. They were in magazines like Word Up, and when they would interview about Chris, sometimes they would get quiet, like it wouldn't be much said, or like one group member would say something. But when Word Up were interviewing people like B2K and all of them would speak. But when they came to N2U, they really didn't say much about Chris Stokes, and then they were just gone. And one allegedly, because people made this rumor about the original member of House Party of Immature back in the day. They stated, the one that was in the movie, the House Party movies. They stated that he said that Chris did something to him. I always heard it was a male from N2U, into this group. So this group here, I always heard it was one of them. And the one that I heard it was is the one with the curly hair. I heard it was him that said something about Chris. Okay, yes, half pint of Immature. Yes, they always said it was half pint. Shout out to Persuasive. But I always heard it was this group. That's what was always told to me. 100%. We need to into you. If y'all is watching, let us know y'all story. Let us know what happened to y'all, because y'all just disappeared. Okay, now y'all know Chris liked the 3-letter words, you know, and the 3-letter the ways B2K N2U, you know, like so. And this group disappeared. Mindless Behavior was not signed to TUG. They were not signed to Chris Stokes. Yeah, Taz still sitting over there trying to promote people low key just so she don't get in the line of fire. Oh yeah, but she's popped too. We're gonna get into Taz too. But yeah, this group Into You. We'll do a little backstory on them. Maybe I'll do a video on the little surviving, because they just disappeared, like not to be heard of. After one of them had, and I believe it was the one with the curly hair, alleged some things about Chris Stokes. So the list goes on and on and on and on. And Chris be trying to make it act like he's so innocent. All of this is like, no, you're not. You tried it. Shout out to the 1,200 people in the building. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Now, I want to say rest in peace to Quindon Tarver. You guys know I love Quindon. We're going to get a little bit into his story because I do believe that Monyee Morton, Chris Stokes' ex-wife, I do believe she's speaking about Quindon as well. I do think one of the victims she's talking about is Quindon Tarver. I do think that she is speaking on him. I do. So let's get into what we think that she may be speaking on, if she is speaking about Quindon, which we'll see how much more she says. She hasn't said too much since what she said, and we'll read that again, but we'll see. So the former child star from McKinney appeared in Baz Luhrmann's 1996 take on Shakespeare on American Idol. Passed away at 38. Again, rest in peace to Quindon Tarver. Quindon Tarver, a McKinney native who appeared as a choir boy in Romeo and Juliet and the season 2 and 7 of American Idol, has passed. He was 38. Quindon Tarver passed in a car accident Thursday night on President George Bush Turnpike, his uncle Kevin Tarver said. His quote, "He has been through so much," said Kevin Tarver, but his focus was on his music and he was getting ready to make his comeback. Quindon, we miss you, Quindon. He had been in the studio working on a project that was supposed to be released this year. Quindon Tarver was born in McKinney of 1982. Hold on one second. Okay. I have to move that. So Quindon Tarver was born in 1982, where he started singing in church choirs at age 4. He appeared in the video for Madonna's Like a Prayer and signed with Virgin Records at 12. While recording his debut album, Quindon, he asked to audition for Romeo and Juliet. Tarver performed covers of Prince's When Doves Cry and Rosala's Everybody's Free in 1996 film. His songs were also featured in the double platinum soundtrack to the movie. Sorry, it keeps moving. Wow. Okay. Released the same year as the movie. His first album included a hit, It's You That's on My Mind. He took off on a tour with singers Brandy and Monica, but shortly after having found fame at 14, he was back home in Texas. So at 14 is when Quindon, because his mother allowed him to go and basically live for Chris Stokes while he helped him get his career together, kind of like the whole Usher Diddy situation. So he was, well, not only helping him get his career together, he was giving him one, signing him to him, managing his career and whatnot. And Quindon did multiple interviews and stated that while being with Chris Stokes, that one of the first times that he was essayed while being in Chris Stokes' presence was when they were in a room and Marques Houston was in the room as well. And Chris It was a freak off. Diddy was in Bump 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 and worked with B2K. Mm-hmm. Cassie and Diddy got together basically in like 2005. I wouldn't be surprised if it was certain names from that group on the list. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Diddy and Chris are cool. Diddy and Chris get along well. They do. No lie. No lie. What Quindon explained to Raz B on the phone, and it's nothing to pull up. Actually, here, let me pull up this article. Hold on, let me do it. Hold on, I'm sure I have it somewhere. Right here. Is this one? I think this one may be it. Right here. Raz B claims Marques Houston is a Pedialyte. Plus a message from Quindon Tarver. Former B2K member Raz B is back making waves on the internet after he released a video of himself spazzing out on R&B singer Marques Houston. In the video, he calls Marques Houston upset after he heard that Omarion said that he was bipolar on the radio. He also makes the explosive allegations that Marques M-worded him when he was 13. Now, I'm not sure if you remember, but Raz accused former B2K manager Chris Stokes and Marques Houston of M-wording him in a video that was released in 2007. During 2007, during that time, another artist by the name of Quindon that worked under Chris Stokes when he was younger claimed he was M-worded as well. Ironically, a few weeks ago, an email was passed on to me that Quindon Tarver had written recently, and he claims that he had been scared for his life and Chris Stokes accompanied his life. Here's an excerpt. I wanted to say a personal thank you for supporting me and my story. Chris Stokes is a P-word and manipulator, so is Marques Houston, who is the ringleader in all of this. I'm gonna read that again. This is an excerpt from Quindon Tarver's email to these people. Now, I have spoken to Quindon Tarver, and Quindon Tarver, God rest his soul, I can pull up my... I am Quindon. Here's my DMs with Quindon Tarver. Can you guys see that? Hold on. So you guys can see that. At the top it says, hold on, make sure you can see. I am Quindon. Hold on, all that it needs to show clear, Lord. It needs to show clear, Lord. Can y'all set on? Want to make sure y'all can see it. I am Quindon. I am Quindon. There we go. I am Quindon. Okay? Quindon and I used to speak all the time. Okay? Quindon and I, we used to talk. Okay? All right? And this excerpt is definitely something that Quindon would say. Definitely. Because he basically said the same thing to me. So, yeah. So this is why I'm reading from this. Let me shout them out. Shout out to blackfolklivejournal.com. Shout out to them because they are telling the truth. Quindon did send them an email, and in this email to follow. And I sent Quindon a lot of stuff. And when I asked if he could verify or not, and he would, when it came to Chris Stokes. And I will say one thing that he did say about Chris Stokes. What did he say? Right here. So I sent him a screenshot of people asking him about what he did to Chris, about asking Chris Stokes about what he did to Quindon. And then a person has said it to Chris, what happened to Quindon Tarver? And then Chris said, I have no clue. You tell me. I've never done anything to Quindon, but look out for him. So then I sent a subscriber sent me that screenshot of Chris responding to them saying that, Chris Stokes. And I sent it to Quindon. And I was like, well, look, he's, So then Quindon responded and said, that's so hilarious to me. The denial is so real. Okay, is what Quindon said. And then I sent him more messages of what they had said. Well, actually, this is between Chris and I about the song. And when I had asked about the closure, I said, I'm glad you liked it when I was talking about the song about Raz B. I said, are you against talking to Raz B or Quindon for closure purposes? So I sent him me talking to Chris about that. And I sent it to Quindon. So then I told Quindon, I was like, hi, I'm sorry if we talk about something completely different. So then Quindon said, you're fine, man. I'm not offended. I just think that guy is full of ish and he knows it. So he also said right here. Okay. Well, I'm not going to read them because I'm special to me. So, because he is deceased now. So, because his family's involved. So, but anyways, so he always stuck to his story. Quindon never changed. He never flipped and switched anything. So until the day he left this world, he said that Chris did this to him and he never reneged. He never went back on his story. He never changed anything. He never said this didn't happen. He never said that it was exaggerated. He never. This is my story. This is what happened to me. From beginning to end. Quindon did multiple interviews about what happened to him as well, and his story stayed the same. He didn't go on this platform and say one thing. Shout out to Since Day One over here on YouTube. He went on her platform and displayed what he said on national TV because he did an interview for what was it, Entertainment Tonight or something like that. But he did a big interview, like it was on like TV, and that was included about the whole piece about what happened to him through Chris, what happened with him and Chris Stokes and Marques Houston. And his story stayed the same. The same thing he said on Since Day One and other places that he had went. He said the same thing. So yeah, his story's always been the same thing. So let's go. Shout out to Tip West. Oh my God, I love you, Tip West. So it says, okay, ironically, okay. I just wanted to, this is what Quindon said. I just wanted to say a personal thank you for supporting me and my story. Chris Stokes is a P-word and a manipulator. So is Marques Houston, who is the ringleader in all of this. I have been forced to kiss Marques Houston. What he says, yes, I have been forced to kiss Marques Houston. Okay. Yes, I have been and asked when you, who do you think about in IMX? So he also said that and at this point in time, Quindon was 13 years old. So when people heard the story that Raz B and Quindon talked about, that was just part of what happened. Okay, that was this whole piece. That wasn't everything that was going on. So when you heard the story that he had with Raz B, you on the phone, if you ever heard that, which is on my survivings if you haven't, and I can play it again for you guys too in a future live. Quindon stated what happened, just like one incident of what happened, not like what happened, because he lived with Chris Stokes. So it wasn't like that he was over there one time and this happened one time. No. Okay. Absolutely not. This was a recurring thing. So with that being said, Marques Houston was stating that he was lying about saying that he had to, when he earns the rate, which member of the group he thought about, and that he was being forced to kiss Marques. But what was being left out was Marques was doing these things. Not Chris was sitting there telling him to do it. These things that Marques was doing, he would do independently. So that is why Quindon will call Marques the ringleader. So it's not that these things were not taught to Marques, but now you have become it. So it's not that Marques isn't a victim himself. It's just now you have become a victim. Now you're victimizing. So now we have to kind of overlook the fact that those things have happened to you when you are, causing the same energy yourself. Now we gotta overlook that, because this is what Quindon was saying. This is why Quindon would say that Marques was a monster, because a lot of these things Marques was doing on his own. Yeah, there was a situation and situations to where Chris was involved, but a lot of this stuff was independent. What am I getting up mad at Chris Stokes for if I'm waking up in the middle of the night and you on top of me, and stuff like that, or whatever, what am I mad at Chris for? Like, you're doing this to me. Yet when there's a situation going on, and with Chris knowing that certain things are going on because Chris is a part of it, then I understand his frustration with Chris for allowing it to happen. You being an adult, somebody that should be and could be protecting me, but you're not. And you're also involved. You're also engaging in these acts, in certain acts. And what he explained again on the phone with Raz B, Quindon, was a freak off. Chris sat in the room and guided and directed the males on what to do. Same thing Diddy does. Same thing. Same thing. Honestly, Robert Kelly too. A lot of his tapes was him telling people what to do, and also bringing males in the room too. So it was the same thing. He was doing the same thing. The thing about the difference is he wanted to be on camera. He didn't mind starring in these crimes. He would star in them. Chris wanted to do it, but have his hands clean. No different than photographs and whatnot that are out there like this. This is him, because he took this photograph. You can tell by the energy on Romeo's face, he is not pleased. He is not. And this photo is not to capture them in their underwear. This photo was geared at their feet. These photographs and whatnot were being sold to certain people. Certain people were given these photographs. This is how they made it to the public. These pictures were never supposed to be public. They were never supposed to be public. These are leaked photographs. So I don't want people to think that, because again, what would Immature have had a reason to do this for? On the same bed, the same exact bed that Quindon explained to a T of what Marques did to him in that room while Chris Stokes watched. When Marques laying in that same exact bed in this photograph. We're not supposed to find that weird. We're not supposed to side-eye that. We're not. Yeah, that was no album cover. That was no there was no reason for them to be like that, besides that's how you wanted them. You wanted them that way because of what was going on after. After. That was before. You can see the distress in their face. You could see it. Even Marques. Even Marques. You take a picture of them and like that. Why didn't they have this energy? Hold on. Why didn't they have this energy? If you pay attention in the picture with B2K, they're laughing in the photograph. In these photographs, they're all laughing. Nobody, this is a groupie didn't take these pictures from back in the day. Chris Stokes took this picture. Look at that bed. Look at what color it is. That's why we call him the burlester. Burgundy. White and burgundy. That bed, white, burgundy. Their clothing, white and burgundy in these photographs. Them on this bed, white and burgundy. But we're supposed to ignore those things. But leak photographs that you took. You took these photos. How we know you took these photos? Because no one else was allowed to get this close to B2K. No one else was allowed to get that close to IMX. No one else. No one else. No one else. Oh, not remove this video. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, girl. Absolutely not, girl. So yeah, I find that weird. Yeah, he always is, Kirkland. Every time y'all back, they're not getting y'all tired of getting blocked. Like, ugh, girl. Oh, girl. Marques, you remember this? Quindon says, yes, I was forced to kiss Marques Houston. You remember that? He said, yes, I have been asked to masturbate. And who you think about in IMX? The list goes on and on. There are also numerous members of various groups that were involved with Chris Stokes that were M-worded or touched in the wrong way. And they are afraid of speaking out. Also, Michael Houston knew about this and did nothing. Michael Houston is Marques Houston's father. Marques Houston, your father's name is Michael. He was there when you got married. You spent all of your time with Chris Stokes, although your mother was suffering from cancer. God rest her soul. And Chris kept you away from her and this. Absolutely. My girl, Marques. Gays. Don't nobody care that you got kids now. So, yeah, get that girl. You're not in Jehovah's thing. You leave Jehovah out of this. Where was Jehovah when you was playing butt pirates with these artist stuff and my girl? Stop it, cut it out. Why were you gonna think about Jehovah then? So, my girl, Jehovah would not like what you're about to do. Ho, ho, ho. Jehovah doesn't like where you're about to put that. I can promise you. Hair flip. So, y'all, the group N2U is one of the groups that I was telling you about earlier. So that's why even Quindon himself has stated that there have been other artists and group members that have been M-worded by Chris Stokes during their stay or time with TUG Records at the time. That is why Chris Stokes got rid of TUG Records, because of the lawsuits that were against you. Chris, do you not want to talk? Because you love getting lawsuits and stuff on people. Do you not want to talk about the lawsuits that were on you against TUG Entertainment, that B2K, IMX, Janae, all of that, all of y'all all those artists were signed to? Do you not want to talk about that? That's why you got rid of the whole thing, because of the whole label, the name, all of that stuff, just like Diddy, like how Diddy would change his name. That's why you have a lot of businesses now, Chris Stokes, that isn't in your name, because you don't want people to know that you own it, because you're like a pariah, because as soon as they type in your name, what pops up. So I find that weird. So move right along. Let's keep reading. Quindon said Michael knew and did nothing about it, which is Marques Houston's father. He also says, I don't know why or what they were thinking when this was done to me and others, but I have been scared for my life from it. I hate that I settled and didn't take it into court. But at this, what did Quindon say? I hate that I settled and didn't take it into court. Chris. Chris, I thought you didn't do nothing. Stop playing with me. I thought you didn't do nothing. Justice for Quindon. I thought you didn't do nothing. Monyee, you talking about Quindon, right? Monyee, you talking about Quindon, right? He one of the victims you talking about, right? He has to be. Because you were married to Chris when all of this went down. Y'all were together. So you know about Quindon. You know about what happened to Quindon. You know. You absolutely know. You know what that word, girl. You sure do. So, yes. So Taking court. Okay. So he said settled and didn't take it into court, but at the time were threatened with, and I was afraid for my family as well as myself. He and Chris, we're talking about Marques and Chris, are still denying all this. It's disgusting. But after all has been said and done, I'm fine and I'm blessed. God will have the last laugh. Oh my God, I miss you, Quindon. As he knows what is true and what isn't. But once again, thanks for your support. God bless. Chris, you want to talk about this? Chris. Chris, don't nobody care about Chrissy being here. Hey, Chrissy girl, I'm talking about your dad. Hey, girl. Hey, girl, Chris better not be in his chat after he done blocked me. After he done blocked me, what you blocked me for? If you just gonna come over here, girl. Y'all are mad. Y'all are upset. All right, Chris Stokes, take the polygraph. Take the test. Take the test in the case of the little baby. Girl, Chris, I'm on your road, Chris. Chris, oh. Hold on, Chris, I got more on you. Hold on, let's get into more of your life. Hold on, Chris. Hold on, Chris. Hold on, Marques. Hold on, Chris. Hold on, Chris. Y'all know I got murder. Y'all know I got murder. Y'all know I got murder. Look at this. What's this? Marques. Ooh, you're mad. Ooh, you're mad. Marques, what's this say? Read this. Read this aloud to the class. Read this. What this title say? Hurry up. Hurry up. And you're upset. Chris, why when Ricky Romance called you on your phone, you said that you don't do that no more? You're not like that no more. I will pop y'all. So y'all, because I dropped a link for you. I know it ain't y'all. Y'all gotta be trolls. You guys are weak. But it could be y'all at the same time because no one in their right mind will troll for y'all. Like, troll for you for what? Like, girl, like, that's what I say. You never know. It could be them. Just because, I mean, who would defend him at this point in time? I mean, besides his dry churn that's living off his dime. Oh, don't take my paycheck away. Like, girl. Marques Houston, M-word allegations. Last week, the internet was abuzz when M-word accusations against singer Marques Houston and manager-producer Chris Stokes resurfaced. Former B2K band member DeMario Raz B released a video featuring a disturbing conversation between he and former label mate Quindon Tarver. The two former teen heartthrobs shared graphic war stories of allegedly being murdered by both Houston and Stokes, Raz B's cousin, during their young musical careers. And I'm my girl. Now it says last week, okay. This week, okay. This week, Houston was granted a restraining order against Thornton, which is Raz B, whom he claims falsely accused me of M-wording him. How was that false? Shout out to the new members. Shout out to the new members. Thank you so much. Welcome, gang, gang. How was that false? I don't understand that. How was that false? How was that false? Girl, here. Y'all talking about some hit the link, Chris. Girl, this is Chris. And Chris, when they hit the link, and you got to come on camera. If you're not on camera, don't. And you will sit backstage, I promise you. You will sit backstage. I need to see Chris of the Stokes. Chris of the Stokes. Now, he know exactly who I am. We were just messaging each other. Well, he was just reading my messages because he's pressed. But yeah, he knows exactly who I am. He knows my channel. He's subscribed. All of that. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, come on camera. Don't even think about coming up here not on camera. I promise you. I will boot you from my studio immediately because we do not play those games. So guys, so Chris, if you would like to come up here and have a conversation about how you're a horrible person and how you're definitely going to hell, we can absolutely talk about that. We can absolutely talk about what you've been doing to these alleged people for quite some time. We absolutely can. We can come up here and talk about how you're a loser. We absolutely can. And how we're going to stay on your neck until the day, those cuffs, those fisticuffs, are finally placed where they belong. But yeah, other than that, girl, Chris don't want no smoke. Literally, y'all can see it in my DM. He don't want no smoke. But anyways, let's keep reading about how his protege is allegedly out here touching on people. Falsely accused him of M-wording him. Houston claims that he suffered emotional distress from Thornton's allegations. Meanwhile, Tarver, 27, best known for his Prince cover of When Doves Cry, featured on the 1996 Romeo and Juliet soundtrack, told Raz B that he had been penetrated by Houston, and it hurt. That is what Quindon said on the phone to Raz B. That is what Quindon said on the phone to Raz B. So, and I'm my girl, I don't know who you are, but I'm looking for Chris. Okay, if you're not Chris, please leave my show. Please, thank you. So yeah, right, Chris and Chris only. Hit the link. That's it. Oh, you're hard-headed. Well, that makes it so fast. So, yeah. So, Sean, why is Chris Stokes' wife in hiding now? I don't think she's in hiding. I think that Chris Stokes is probably trying to make some type of deal with her to keep her not speaking. That's why I said with this situation, who knows how far it'll go. I mean, who knows? This could be just as quick as it started, it could be over with her coming forward with that information, because she hasn't said anything since her first statement about this. So yeah, so Quindon said that Marques had traded him and that it hurt, and that he hold on, let's keep going. It hurt. Tarver and Raz B both spoke to Vibe magazine in 2008 about the rumors, both confirming that at the time, in fact, something had happened. Not that the tape has been released. Tarver, now the tape has been released. Tarver says that he put that part of his life behind him and never intended for those heartbreaking scandals to push back into the forefront. In a statement, Tarver says, in regards to the videos leaked over the net recently by Demario Raz B Thornton, I would like to first start off by saying it was never intentional on my part for that conversation to have been made public, which is true. So he didn't know that Raz B was recording him at the time. He thought that what they were saying was between them and whatnot. So, yeah, time out. You're stupid. You sound dumb, troll. But because yeah, he would never say that. Y'all are stupid. That was cute though. So I don't know why, but everything just froze. So, anyways, okay, let me get back to my point. Yes. So he didn't know that he was being recorded. So the information that came out during that phone call about, he thought that that was just him and Raz B privately bonding. In that moment, he had no idea that this was going to be all over the internet. Raz B was calling him, telling him that he knew basically what he was going through, and he wanted to talk to Quindon because they have a lot of things, in common, brothers in trauma, if you will. So that's how the conversation came about. But Quindon didn't know that it was going to be made public, and he was kind of like, not embarrassed, but it was just kind of just like, whoa, I did not think that, so but let's keep going. He said, I had no clue our conversation was being recorded, nor did I know it would end up on the internet. I was under the impression that Raz B and myself were having a private conversation, nothing more or less. In 2008, I spoke in depth to Vibe magazine regarding the painful experiences in my past while under Chris Stokes' label. The stories of men being M-worded making national headlines in recent weeks show a problem that all too real in our community. Whether it's famed director Tyler Perry telling Oprah of him being M-worded as a child, or 4 young men accusing Bishop Eddie Long of sexual coercion, or CNN anchor Don Lemon revealing that he was M-worded too, this seems to be like an appropriate time for Black people to confront how common P-word is in our community. So, again, when it comes to this situation with Marques Houston and Quindon Tarver and Chris Stokes, and now I guess we can say Raz B. Tip for a second eye. So, girl, ain't nobody removing nothing. Like, I don't know, girl. It's the trolls for me. You guys are hilarious. Have fun, because we find you guys funny. Again, if that was Chris, he would have hit the link. And Chris didn't hit the link. So, on Marques. I mean, it could be Marques, because Marques is pathetic. Like, Marques has no friends. So, it includes Quindon Tarver deceased now. Yes, that's why it takes people like us to keep Quindon's story alive, because Quindon's story never changed. It never changed. I have him in my DM personally telling me that his story is true and that he is saying this. And shout out to Quindon. Shout out to all the people that's been buying coffee memberships during this live too. But yes, Gareth Quindon soul, but we are not going to give up on justice for him. And people like Monyee could be very essential in helping people like Quindon, the voiceless, because Quindon is not here to speak for himself anymore. So if Monyee was coming forward to validate Quindon's story, I think that he would just rest just that much easier, honestly. I think he's already resting in peace, but I think it would just be a little bit more peacefully, knowing that these men that have been calling him a liar for so long, Marques Houston, Chris Stokes, and then that's another thing with Marques Houston. Raz B holds back when it comes to Marques Houston. Marques Houston was not, and a person scorned, you really can't tell them how to feel, right? So I think like with Raz B being harmed by his own family member, it makes it a little bit more powerful and a bit more of a responsibility to keep it a secret, because you're related, right? Because that's humiliating. Like, I'm like, who will want that information out there? I think that after everything that Chris had took Raz B through, and everything that Raz B had been through, his father not being the greatest, his mom with having problems with drugs, and stuff like that. Being in B2K was Raz B's dream. B2K meant everything to Raz B. Raz B was a huge Michael Jackson fan, so the dancing, this thing, all of that stuff is like, and I feel like as a kid, with him constantly watching Michael Jackson and mimicking him, and all of that stuff, when Chris did what he did to him, I think it kind of locked Raz B in that age. So, because it happens to a lot of victims, to where you can't, it's kind of like a loop, a loop, if you will. That happens until that loop is broken with coming to, because people kind of stay in a world that they can stay in to protect themselves from being hurt by it. So it's like you create a place, like Neverland, like mentally, you create a place to escape. And I think B2K is Raz B's escape, because it's his dream. It's something that he always wanted. What can make you happier than your dream? What can make you happier than that? Like achieving it. So I think that because all of this stuff happened to him while being in the group, but Ricky Romance, which is Raz B's brother, taught Raz B, that is his first abuser. Not Chris Stokes. But halfway Chris Stokes is, right? And what I mean by that is Ricky states that Chris taught him and showed him how to do certain things. Ricky knew that Raz was up for grabs to be in this group B2K that Chris was putting together. So Ricky showed Raz B what allegedly Chris showed him to get Raz B ready to be in the group B2K. So Ricky definitely groomed Raz, which could also be, it's abuse. So to me, the first person that actually harmed him was Ricky. Now, Ricky is his brother. So if his own brother is doing and showing him certain things sexually, then you got your cousin, which is Chris, that is doing things. It's more so of Ricky had already groomed him to be ready for another family member to, because that's what he was grooming him for, allegedly. He wasn't grooming him for a stranger. He was grooming him for our cousin. Shout out to Mar for subscribing to Coffee. Thank you so much, sweetheart. So, in my eyes, Ricky is the first person, to harm Raz in that way. So, with Raz B have gone through all of these things, and for B2K to be his dream, and then Chris comes and tries to rip that away from him, I can imagine what Raz felt, at that time. It's like all of this damage that, because in Raz's mind, and I think that if he truly thinks about it, you were dating Chris. Just didn't look, it wasn't labeled. Because being in a relationship with someone, having a friendship with someone is a relationship. Sometimes you can bicker, like a married couple, and stuff like that, even with your own siblings, and whatnot, it's that closeness that you have. So even, guys and girls that are friends, they argue all the time. They make up, they break up, they figure, they apologize. It's no different in a relationship. You do the same thing. You argue, you fight, you bicker, you make it work. The person you're dating is your friend too. So yes, same thing. It's just that there's nothing sexual to truly change, looking at this person beyond a friend. Chris wasn't your friend. Chris was your lover. And you couldn't come to terms with that because that wasn't the label. But when you would see Chris get closer to other people like Omarion and others, you would get jealous. It would bother you. When new artists would come along, it would bother you, to see Chris put this energy into other people, because again, this is your dream. And you were told certain things, and you've done a lot to get here. And a lot of it you don't even understand. So I think the essay and whatnot, I don't feel like the men understood, like what was happening. They kind of just went with it because every day it's a bunch of women screaming their name and here and there they get to sneak off with some groupies and whatnot, smash, be men, young men, and roam and explore and whatnot, just for the whip to be cracked. And this man treating them like, so you got all of these boys that you're keeping sexually frustrated because you're not allowing them, to be boys, because that's just is primal, it's just what it, it is what it is. You're honing in on that energy by placing all of them against each other, placing them all against each other, because that's what he did. He had all of B2K at odds with each other. Everybody. Even spilled over to when B2K broke up, you still got Lil Fizz doing stuff to get out of Marianne. Sleeping with April, dating April, doing things in that, all out on the B2K tour and stuff like he was still throwing, and it said he was doing the same thing back in the day. Like other girls, the women that Marianne was dating, he would take them. Or try. Jennifer Freeman, that was in You Got Served, and the same girl, she was on My Wife and Kids One Night. Omarion dated her first. And then here come Fez. You know, so like that's just what he did. He was just that type of person. And I think it's because of the energy that Chris Stokes put behind them. I think Chris Stokes made them, because it's easier to divide and conquer if there's chaos. It's harder to divide and conquer when everything is calm. So if all of the boys get along, it's harder to break them up. It's harder to keep them doing what you want them to do. And why he needs chaos is because everybody making different money. Everybody. So, and they don't know. So you're not going to sit there and talk about those things if you're in a feud. It's the same thing Diddy did with Danny DK. And he tried to keep them at he literally wanted them to be. If you think about all of the Making the Band days, when the groups were argued, dialoguing them, even when they was literally over there physically putting their hands on each other, Diddy was nowhere to be found. That's what he wanted. Because the majority of them fighting was because of Diddy. Was because of him. Diddy would have Ness go out there and on TV and rap battle people, you know, and whatnot. He was separating them on purpose. He had Aubrey going to do photo shoots and whatnot before Danny DK was even made, before the group was even finished. He already got Aubrey doing photo. Then when the group is together, instead of them getting back in the studio making a third album, he grabbing Dawn, bringing Dawn to the studio and not telling the other women why. So they thinking Dawn doing a solo album, and she wasn't. But Dawn wasn't allowed to talk about the project. And in most, when you're working on an album, you're not supposed to talk about it. If you're working on the Beyonce album, you're not supposed to say anything. Like well, most people that's making an album that went on a hush hush. Nicki making an album, anybody, you don't say nothing. Just let it rock. You know, type of situation. He was doing that type of stuff on purpose. That's why Danny DK was working on. He was sending the girls to different places. So they thinking some of the girls aren't showing up to these events because they're putting other things before it. It's like, no. Diddy having certain girls go certain places. Hey, I got this invite. Go tell Drea, Dawn, and what's the name? Tell them to go. The other girls, they're not needed. They don't need them. They want them three. So then the three girls show up and they think like, okay, well, where the other girl? Like, where? You know, and they texting them and stuff. And, you know, they hit them back up like, girl, I didn't know y'all, we had no event where y'all. We're like, where? I'm in New York or I'm in LA. Like, I didn't know. You know, so, but then you get on TV and then it's like, it's all their fault. No different than with B2K. Chris Stokes trying to make it look like they were all jealous of Omarion. Literally, he pushed it that way. And where Omarion messed up is that Omarion never said anything. Omarion allowed Chris to push that narrative. He allowed it. When the other three group members were saying that they didn't have any money necessarily, that they were owed this and that they were owed that and not that this and not that they didn't have no homes, no mansions and stuff. What we seen on BT Crib or the BT how I'm living and cribs and whatnot, that those ain't really our homes and whatnot. Those are Chris's houses. You know, we just stayed there or we just stayed at this location. That wasn't our home. We don't all have no Mercedes. Like we don't have cars. You know, so they're going around saying all of that stuff. Basically, J Book said during an interview that they felt financially R-worded. Literally is what he said. Literally. He said that we were financially R-worded. His exact words, you know, and whatnot. And then Omarion goes on to TRL with Sway and it's the complete opposite. Oh no, I'm fine. I don't know about them, you know, but I got money. You know, I got a car, I got a crib. You know, I got blah, blah, blah. He gonna say the complete opposite. So that's what I'm saying. Omarion, you allowed him to use. I get that Omarion was young, but at the same time, it's like you did allow Chris to use you. You do, and even during Omarion's Vlad interview, he didn't say I don't believe Raz B. He's not saying that. He's not. He said I do believe something happened. Now, when, besides one time I can recall, Raz B did not name Omarion being one of the people in the room when certain things happened. But there was a time that Raz B did say that Chris ordered them to give each other, and that was the whole group. And that was the whole group. And from what Raz B was explaining when he said that Chris Stokes had all of them, including J-Boog, including Little Fizz, and including Omarion, that they all did things to each other, and they were all in a room together. It's giving, that's what I said, a picture speaks. This gives the beginning of what happened next. I mean, you got Omarion down here at the bottom picture, putting his hands over his buttocks and whatnot. You got Raz grabbing himself in certain pictures. You got, look. Come on now. These pictures were never supposed to be out there. What are those pictures for? You have to think about that with the photograph. You have to think about that. Like, okay, well, what are these pictures for? Okay, say that this isn't anything inappropriate. Because again, these are minors. So say that these aren't anything inappropriate. What is it for? Explain. Like, explain it. What is it for? Help us out, because we're confused. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And this is just the beginning. We will be live all week. I'm going to be dropping survivings, new ones, with new information. But I'm also going to be live explaining the information that we do find, information that needs to be detailed further. We are about to go on Coffee and have an epic show. So if you guys aren't on Coffee, please come over there and join us. We'll be over there soon. Yeah, we'll be over there soon. So I have to leave here now. So we've been alive about 2 hours here. Love you guys. Thank you so much for all the support, liking the video, sending super chats, super stickers, cash apps, all that good stuff. I love you guys so much. Thank you. And we are about to go live on Coffee. So I will see y'all over there. Bye.